Hi, I'm American McGee, one of the founders of Spicy Horse Games. I wanted to say thank you for taking a moment to consider our Kickstarter campaign, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about our studio. For the past 6 years, Spicy Horse has maintained a unique position among game developers, being one of the longest-standing independent game studios in China. In that time, we've accomplished a lot of interesting things, like being the first indie studio in the region to produce a AAA console game with Alice Madness Returns, or delivering episodic content for PC with Grimm. Since 2011, we've been working to reshape our studio and our games by bringing our experience to bear on web and mobile platforms. Our goal is to deliver console-quality content to mid-core gamers and to do this without having to rely on traditional game publishers. Akaneiro is the result of those efforts.
Hey, I'm Ben Kerslake, the creative director of Akaneiro Demon Hunters.
At its core, it's a typical familiar sort of ARPG, but I think we've wrapped it in a fairly unique visual skin that is based on traditional Japanese art and folklore. The bulk of our levels are complete, all of our 3D models for enemies and characters and weapons and so forth are all done. The core control game mechanics are also working. So it's like we have all of the core systems done. It's just a matter of pulling them together into a final product. You know, the obvious answer is the art style and the way that we've interpreted that into the game world and used it to sort of create these wonderful evocative environments and characters. Beyond that, you know, we have not ignored the game mechanics side of things. So it's more than just a sort of light touch homage to ARPG. It's got real ARPG meat to it, presented in a way that, you know, the depth is there for ARPG fans. There's a prowess which is focused around upfront melee combat, those sorts of you know, bloodthirsty kind of attack moves. And then there is fortitude, which, as it sounds, is based around defense and support. And then finally we have the cunning ability set, which is, so that's like the rogue ninja. So we have a lot of vanishing, teleportation, setting traps, and most importantly, I think, ranged attacking. One important thing to note is when you create a character, though you're constrained at that point, beyond that, you're free to sort of dart back and forth between those trees and sort of create a hybrid. So you can have this kind of heavily armored samurai, if you like, that can also disappear like a ninja and set traps. For our enemies or characters at large, of course, tapped Japanese folklore, specifically the yokai or demons and ghost stories. The bulk, the majority of our enemies are drawn from the sort of pages of illustrators that kind of explored folklore and religion and also just pure fantasy. So we've just been flipping through these thousands of different reference sources for these yokai monsters. We have 100 visual templates for weapons, but each one of those can have a broad range of random stats applied, 3 different properties that affect you know, the weapon's performance and stat bonuses and so on. We have a wide set of Japanese-style weapons, so all your samurai and ninja. For armor sets, we have 3 pieces visible on the body, and that's primarily how you customize your shape and character style. And we have a really broad range, so I mean we have everything again from samurai and monk right up to sort of more typical Western ranger stuff. You can pretty much create any kind of hunter that you'd like. When we've had people during the test running around in these geisha skirts with a massive sledgehammer, and again none of that is really limited by any sort of arbitrary constraint on class or skill. It's just, you know, how you want to look and feel. They are kind of like these cute little sidekicks based on Japanese kind of totemic spirits. So use them to provide a passive buff that's quite powerful to the player. So you can choose a pet that sort of suits your play style. We wanted to be able to provide a way for you to interact with your friends even when they're not online. So through summoning an ally, it's sort of like summoning the kind of ghost or imprint of one of your fellow hunters. Completing missions with this ally means that, you know, the experience and reward will be shared automatically. We have talked about like everything we have, you know, in front of us now in the game, which is a good deal of content and mechanics finished and available now. People are playing it in closed beta and enjoying it. But, you know, the vision for the game goes beyond that, I think, in where we want people to and how we want people to be able to play the game. We would love to be able to use the back of funding to release a proper Android version with a tailored UI system. You know, if we could devote some more resources to, there's no issue about providing it. We know the game runs there, and we designed you know, the art or the technical side of things so that there would be very little issue and overhead. We just need to be able to, you know, build that UI and other systems around it to support the Android release. If we're able to devote dedicated resources to the Android version, it also, you know, reflects well back on the PC version. One of the other big things that we'd be able to and really need and want to add is multiplayer, proper multiplayer. Everyone wants this, you know, that's one of the most common feedback we've had from our audience. So I think, you know, hopefully some of that audience, some of those people who've asked those questions will be amongst the first backers for that, and show us that you want it and we can provide it. And again, you know, that would be something that we can provide cross-platform.
Well, you've heard from Ben what we've accomplished so far, but our ambitions far exceed what we can do on our own. That's why we've put together this campaign. With your support, we can go further, deliver more content, include multiplayer support, and publish to even more devices and platforms. And your support will validate independent development of unique content for platforms that are not controlled or dominated by the established publishers. I sincerely hope you'll support Akaneiro. In doing so, you'll help maintain an independent developer in a unique part of the world, and you'll become part of the Order of Akaneiro, helping to fight demons in whatever forms they might take. From the entire team here at Spicy Horse, thank you for your consideration.